Hey guys, it's Punchy, and today I'm going to be going over the last of the Deepwoken stats, Willpower. Before we start, I would like to thank you guys for so much of the support on the task set video and all of my other recent videos I've made. We've almost hit 10,000, so if you want to support me in any way, make sure to like and subscribe for content similar to this. Alright, so getting started. Willpower is one of our core attributes that you can put your points into as you create your character. If you want to progress quickly in the depths, I'd recommend picking this as a fresh spawn. If most of your points are in the Willpower category, you will spawn with prayer beads, so you can get a jump start on leveling up Willpower. If you want any Willpower in your build, I'd say pick the prayer beads ASAP because it probably takes the longest to level up. If we take a look at the game's menu, it says that Willpower is your inner strength and ability to keep a steady mind, and if you decide to level up Willpower, you will increase your Sanity and Reservoir. Sanity is quite underwhelming because Insanity is underdeveloped or overhyped in my opinion, but the extra Reservoir is quite nice. It's ironic that I even make this video because I did make a video trash talking Insanity and why Willpower is useless. To level up your Willpower, you can sit down with prayer beads in pursuit of becoming enlightened. Just kidding, but you will have to sit on the ground every so often after fighting a couple mobs. I think by fighting scarier mobs or going to the depths and becoming insane will further this quicker, but I usually just sit down whenever I have time. The main draw of getting Willpower is the resistance to Insanity based things in the depths and dealing with tough situations. The Willpower based oath is called Blind Seer, and it just requires you to get the basics in mind fortification and allows for another support mantra as well as some sanity. You just have to go to the area above the bandit camp with the angels and talk to the Skyrim chant on the wall once you have these talents and a blindfold equipped. Very complimentary to any build, but to get Blind Seer you will need a minimum of 40 Willpower. Other than that, dealing with Insanity is no problem. There are many talents that increase the sanity of my allies as they do certain actions, and others that decrease the downsides of having Insanity. It is very difficult to actually get Insanity if you have a full Willpower build as well as Blind Seer. It is almost impossible to get to the final tier of Insanity, but this is how many OP Brain Bomb potions it takes to get that far. Basically, if you get Willpower, you're a Depths Dweller, or you don't have Flame Charm or any Flame Charm friends. The best talents I was able to pick up for nullifying the effects of Insanity would be the reduced damage from Insanity and regaining Sanity after killing Depths monsters. These are common ones, but there could be some nice ones I'm missing. Although Insanity is garbage and Sanity talents are generally weak, you will get some very nice talents for everyday use with Willpower. Giant Slayer, which I believe is from Willpower, is great just for fighting mobs and even Primadon. More damage to big guys and giant bosses alike. Cool talent that I think is pretty useful if you have some friends is Defiant until the end. Having a slower grip from an enemy is great because all it takes is one hit to cancel the grip animation. When in a tight situation or gank, homies can have an easier time saving you. I was really trying to enjoy some of the talents from Willpower, but at the end of the day, it's very underwhelming. Similar to Charisma, Willpower only has two mantras that can work in pretty much any build. Starting off is Exhaustion Strike. I believe that this mantra is considerably strong and one of the strongest mantras in the entire game. Exhaustion Strike is a quick attack that has little startup, and the payoff if it hits is massive. If you hit your target, all of your posture will be removed from you and it will allow you to go in for another attack. This move can change the tide of battle in an instant, allowing you to go from defensive to offensive in a single action. This move has little downside because if you hit your target on a parry or block, you almost have no end lag. The cooldown of this move is quite long as well as the ether cost, but other than that, it's ridiculously strong. The final mantra that Willpower players have access to is kind of a meme, unless I'm not using it right. Gaze is a mantra that can be activated when you look at an enemy. It will increase their insanity, put them in combat, and will make them shiver. Shivering is not the same thing as scratching, and if you hit somebody, they can still move as normal when hit by gaze. It's funny to use and can annoy your friends easily, but I think if you're getting jumped into the depths, you might as well turn it on. There's no real windup for gaze, and when you activate it, it pretty much lasts until the cooldown is finished. If people listen to stupid YouTuber opinions about how Willpower is useless and how you should never go it, hit them with gaze in the depths and they'll literally be coping and shivering. I think that's it for the mantras, but if you have any big brain plays with gaze, respond in the comments below because I do want to make a meme build video in the future utilizing this move to its fullest potential. Also, you can level up both of these mantras at the Hive Tree. The same goes for everything that's a physical mantra or anything that's not element based. So to limit break your Willpower for whatever reason, you will need 75 Willpower, a decently high level build, and a solid internet connection. Friends and gliders are unnecessary for this, but very helpful in this case. First things first, we are going to be going down to the depths, and I would recommend going through the whirlpool instead of sending yourself down there through death. You will need this later in parts of this guide. Once we enter the whirlpool, we will be looking for a cure or whatever everyone likes to call the rare event. It's easier to get to him if we start a flat side, so make sure we go to flat side and take a left until we see a void area. Of course, since this is the depths, there will be a ton of enemies and things for you to watch out for. As we approach the void, we are going to jump across and head over to the broken castle wall. Once here, feel free to log and hop a couple times until you can find Akira. He is quite slippery to find, but if you want to hop servers that are newer, I find a higher success rate in finding him. Once you do find him, he will kill a bunch of authority NPCs, and then you'll have the option to talk to him. After we talk to him, make sure to not pick the secondary option that does something with charisma. I have not tested this yet with success, but I do know it will pop your head if you don't have the charisma. He says if we make it to Castle Light, it might be worth it to join the divers, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. To get to Castle Light, you can either go left from the spawn point or run around the slope side until you see a church looking thing. We continue up this path, which is near one of the corrupted bells, and we're going to be jumping across this sketchy looking jump where the void is. This is where I would prefer to use a hang glider to get across, but a well-timed slide jump or anything with mobility should get the job done. As we continue up the path, we will go right to Castle Light. The doors of Castle Light will not allow you to enter if you have the vacant flaw or if you do not enter the depths through a whirlpool. The first time I did this, it actually kicked me out because I went to the depths as I died. So yeah, use a whirlpool. Once in Castle Light, we're going to skip everything else and beeline straight to Akira. If we talk to him, he should give us our card to unbind willpower. As you can see, I got my buff, and if you really wanted to use willpower, there you go, you got your unbinded willpower. And that's pretty much all it is to willpower. I wanted to save this willpower video for the last because I would consider myself a black diver. Black divers are all about information and study, and hey, if you guys want more guides, more tutorials, and more information based around the game, make sure to tune into this channel. So hopefully this gave you some insight on willpower and if it's worth using in your build. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a good one.